Thank you for coming, everyone.
Ironically enough, Star Trek Picard boldly goes where no show has gone before by delving back into the past, reframing the story of Patrick Stewart's Starfleet captain in his twilight years. The success of Season 1 saw CBS renew Picard for a second season. 10 episodes have been confirmed and the shooting kicked off February 2021. So, what are you looking forward to in the upcoming season? Join me as I take you through the 10 things to expect from Picard Season 2.
Go. And take that one with you. You can die together.
Number 10. How did Picard meet his Romulan mates? The narrative of Jean-Luc's two Romulan housemates, Laris and Zebon, was one of the most sadly dropped threads of Picard's first season. Laris and Zebon, both former Tal Shiar operatives, ended up working for the former admiral as housekeepers, bodyguards, and advisors, living with him in his magnificent chateau and addressing him as family. We've got a few tidbits of information about the two, but not quite enough. Laris's handler, when she was a young agent, was Zebon's mother, who was also Tal Shiar. She was the one who first informed Laris of the Zhat Vash's existence. Picard's two Romulan confidants, Zebon and Laris, are said to have first made contact with him during his efforts to rescue and resettle the Romulan population during the supernova. But no details are given, and Picard's two Romulan confidants are never seen or heard from again after he departs Earth to seek for Soji. And we want to know more about the two, like how they came to live with Picard and why they turned their backs on the Tal Shiar. We can only hope that in Season 2, Picard returns to those two intriguing people and their enthralling backstories.
You haven't made me immortal.
Number 9. Is Picard a robot? Can humans transfer their functioning consciousness into robot hosts? At present, Picard is literally one of a kind, but should this technology spread, it changes the idea of what it means to be human in complex and potentially dangerous ways. By the end of the finale, it was unclear if Picard's current status as a synthetic life form is a secret, open knowledge, or something in between. While Jean-Luc isn't the type to be less than honest, he's also not dumb, and letting people know that there is this kind of technology available in the universe could be very dangerous. So has Picard possibly made some segment of humanity functionally immortal? Season 2 holds all the answers to our questions. Number 8. Is Data truly gone? At this moment, it appears to be the case. Outside of Picard's nightmares and flashbacks, most of us assumed Data was already dead and gone. However, his consciousness was still being kept alive inside a simulation, which Picard himself shut off during an emotional closing scene. Now, this sequence felt like a culmination of Data's quest, demonstrating that in some way he had succeeded in his goal to become as human as possible. This is a science fiction drama set in a science fiction universe, after all. Death is previously shown to be far from everlasting for characters in the Trek universe. As a result, never rule out the possibility. But, hopefully, Picard will let Data rest peacefully. To do otherwise would take away a lot of the poignancy and significance from his last arc.
Your evolution will be their extinction.
Number 7. Where is Sutra? Now, we all can agree that there are many unanswered questions about Synthville. The last time we saw the synth leader who was staging a light revolution, Dr. Sung had turned her off with the push of a button. She slew Saga. She let Narek go. She lied to her friends and family. What kind of consequences is she likely to face, both from her community and possibly from Copulius?
Soji, please! You don't have to do this! Soji, please!
Number 6. The character's one major difference between Star Trek Picard Season 2 and its predecessor is that this time Jean-Luc, now long retired from Starfleet, has his own crew. So don't be surprised if the new season feels more of an ensemble show with more time devoted to Chris Rios, Rafi Musiker, Soji, Asha, Elnor, and 7 of 9. Integrating all of them and new characters into the narrative will be one of the new season's hardest missions. That's the challenge. Season 1 showrunner Michael Chabon was quoted as saying, "First, it's got to be good, right? It has to be focused on Picard, but have room for all the other characters. It's never going to be just a show about the crew of a starship that's part of Starfleet and everyone's wearing uniforms and they're flying around, encountering alien life and weird planets. Those are the challenges we face going into Season 2, and I'm so excited about the story we've come up with. Siobhan explained that on The Idea in another interview, saying, "It's about letting people's identities emerge. I think we'll have more time for that in the second season than we've had in the first season."
If you weren't a disgusting half-mate.
Number 5. Is Narissa dead? Anyone who has even a passing knowledge of Star Trek knows that death isn't guaranteed unless you see a body. So, though 7 of 9 appears to have killed Narissa in the season finale by kicking her down a deep pit into the crashed Borg cube, it's difficult to overlook the fact that we don't see Narissa meet her high-velocity end. So chances are fair that you're going to see Narissa emerging out of a twisted plot in Season 2.
It was a Stargazer and it was a long time ago. It would be useless against so many enemy vessels.
Number 4. Will the robot tentacles ever reappear? We have no idea whatever those robot tentacles were, so predicting whether we're going to see them again is tricky. Let's hope that's not the case, because they don't appear to be friendly in the first place.
You're the invitar.
Number 3. Has Elnor completed his mission? Elnor is a Kalankai, a warrior who chooses to bind his or her blade in the service of a great cause. In his situation, the condition for worthiness was that the cause he was fighting for be judged as lost. Nonetheless, towards the end of the season, Elnor's quest to defend Picard to find Soji becomes a spectacular success. As the episode ends, it looks like Elnor plans to stay with Picard and the rest of the crew of the La Sirena, but does it mean he'll be abandoning his command? The notion of this young man who has only ever lived on a planet full of warrior nuns seeing the rest of the cosmos is extremely interesting. And number 2, Jannah and the Beautiful Flower. When we finally learn about the incident on the Ibn Majid that caused Rios to leave Starfleet, it comes out to be far more important to Picard's mission than any of us anticipated. The Ibn Majid brought 2 passengers aboard, a man named Beautiful Flower and a girl named Jannah, who was subsequently revealed to be Sutra's twin. Rios' captain received orders from Starfleet to assassinate his passengers, who were synthetics, after originally receiving them pleasantly. He did what he was told, and when Rios questioned him about his activities, he killed himself. Rios hid it by ejecting the synthetics' bodies through the ship's airlock and wiping their memories from the ship's memory. Now, despite the fact that Jannah and Beautiful Flower were both synthetics, we never learned much more about them other than the fact that Jannah resembled Sutra, Soji, and Dash. We could never find out what they were up to before boarding the Ibn Majid or what their goal was. We also never learned why he was given the name Beautiful Flower, since all of the other synthetics that we've met had names that sounded more conventional. However, because synthetics are always made in pairs, Beautiful Flower must have had a twin, and he could still be out there someplace. We're hoping that in Season 2, we'll discover more about Jannah and Beautiful Flower's activities on the Majid, as well as learn more about Beautiful Flower's twin.
Picard!
And number 1, is Picard dead or alive? We saw in Et in Arcadia Ego, Part 2, that Picard finally succumbed to the degenerative brain anomaly that had been threatening to kill him all season, and he even purposefully rushed things along, sacrificing the last few moments of his life for a few precious seconds of pain-free lucidity so that he might persuade Soji to destroy the beacon she'd made and in turn save many lives. However, before Picard's brain functions ceased, Agnes and Dr. Song were able to successfully download his consciousness into the golem they'd been working on, extending his life in a new synthetic body until the end of what would have been his normal lifespan if the annoying brain anomaly hadn't existed. Picard awakens with the same appearance and sensations as previous, having avoided death through technological progress. Is he, however, the same person who died at the end of Season 1? Or is he a sentient clone of that person who died at the conclusion of Season 1? In fact, when Data meets him in the afterlife simulation, he realizes that he is a carbon replica of his former self and that he is even missing one of his prior body's major memories, his own death. Season 1 concluded with all of this, and we can't wait for the second season for the ultimate revelation. So what do you think? What are you anticipating the most in Star Trek Picard Season 2? Let me know in the comments below. And be sure that you subscribe and like us. I'll see you next time on the channel. Until then, it's goodbye.